guys, my name is Kaimana Kane, and today I'm going to be giving you a book review on Who Was Jules Verne. Sorry, I got the hiccups. So Jules Verne was born on February 8th, 1828. So he was a mischievous boy from France with a big imagination, and I really like how they included that fact, because by a big imagination, you now understand why he was called the father of science fiction. And if you don't know what science fiction is, it could be from artificial intelligence to like a book about people who survived the apocalypse of Saturn or something. I mean, that's what science fiction. It could also be like sci-fi and stuff like that. So he really loved ships, and he was also really good at math. Like, he memorized like 3 times 1,000, 3,000, 3 times 10,000, 30,000. But those are just basic facts. But he also memorized stuff like 9 times 8. I don't know. But no, I know, 72. But it was actually a lot to learn at that time, because we're much more ahead of education than they were at that time. So every day after school and before they rang the dinner bell, he went in like the nearest, like where people, like the nearest dock, to get in their small ship with his brothers. Jules Verne, I believe there's 2 more brothers, one younger and one older. So Jules Verne, he was kind of the middle child. So then he moved to Paris, and then he became a famous writer in Paris. Not all that famous like William Shakespeare, but he just became a writer, and he wrote like pages, like 10 people were buying it almost every day. And it could be from like an imaginary story like sci-fi. That's why he's called the father of science fiction. Or it could be from him saving his cat from choking on an olive or something. But so he wrote on a lot of paper, and he basically made like a newspaper. So it doesn't include like a lot of things about how Jules Verne was famous, but what I know he was famous for was 2 things. 1, writing a lot about science fiction, and 2, going on his voyages. So, but also another interesting thing was he predicted a lot of things. Some people think he was a time traveler, but I don't think he was. It didn't include it in this book. But he did predict it. But he did predict some very interesting things, like the internet, skyscrapers, and electrical dance music. So those were some pretty interesting things he predicted. And so he married, I think this is how you pronounce it, Honorine, Honorine, and I'll just call her H person. So H person and Jules Verne got married, and they had 2 daughters, Valentine and Suzanne. And they really had a great life. And so Jules Verne really went on some voyages, and he visited the US on a boat, which was crazy because like it's kind of far away. So Jules Verne, he just has a good life, and there's just some storylines. He wrote about prehistoric beasts, hot air balloon races, and undersea creatures. And this is actually like one of the book covers of one of his book. I think it's called 20 Leagues Under the Sea. And basically, without Jules Verne standing there, it's like basically like a prehistoric beast underwater, like having like this gigantic squid. And I didn't really mention a lot about that book, but it was like 5 pages, which might seem a lot to you, but it was basically saying the same thing over with different synonyms and a little detail and a little twist or twink added to it. So he sailed all around Europe, and most people knew him because usually he'd take his big boat, and also he got a boat, and he'd take it for like a morning sail around Europe, maybe sometimes at noon or in the evening or something like that. He also really liked hot air balloons. That's why he wrote about hot air balloon races and undersea creatures and prehistoric beasts. So there wasn't a lot to talk about in this book, as you can see. If you read one of the Who Was like books, it just goes like that. It's just really detailed, and well, there's not a lot to mention. But so quick thing. Born on February 8th, 1828, he loved ships. He was really good at math. He went to after school, before supper, he went on boats with his brothers and played in the water. He went to Paris. He became a writer. He wrote on paper and he made newspapers, and he was kind of popular in Paris. But in January 1857, the H person, which is Jules Verne's wife, they got married, and well, they had two daughters, Valentine, Suzanne, and sorry, that was loud. So he got a boat, and he pursued three things: the internet, skyscrapers, and electrical dance music. He visited the United States on a boat, which is pretty far, and he sailed around Europe, like taking a morning sail or like a evening or a noon sail. And he really liked the hot air balloons. That's why he wrote about science fiction like prehistoric beasts, hot air balloon races, and undersea creatures. And that's why he's called the father of science fiction, because he wrote a lot about science fiction books. That's basically, I capped up all the things for you, and now I could have just said that, but I want to make sure I express all the details for you guys, or else this book review might have been done in a matter of a minute. So I hope you like my book review. Make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. And make sure make sure the squid monsters doesn't come under your bed and grabs your legs.